let me just talk briefly about what's there. This is just now the community center. And I should say there are 2 buildings on this campus. One occupied the YMCA, and the other shared the community college and the community center. Our building, the community center, and the college is approximately 20,000 square feet, and the YMCA is almost 30,000 square feet. In the community center, we are, and I can't get a good answer on this, I think it's about 8,500 square feet. The architects and the builders don't seem to agree. There is a multi-purpose room that is slightly larger than this room, 40 by 80, dividable. All of the new technology, AV systems, a great meeting room, seating for approximately 200 in theater style, and for meals, approximately 125 at round tables. Now, the diagonal square that we have here. In the community center, there is a living lounge area, reading room, TVs, relaxing room to just play games, bridge, and simply converse. We will also have a cafe and a catering kitchen in the community center. The catering kitchen for the moment is just being stuffed in. We're not so sure at this moment how far the money is going to take us to finish that off. The cafe, we are talking to a local restaurateur who I think when you hear who it is, will be very happy. We initially had thought we would put coffee and donuts and smoothies in there, and it looks like now we're going to have a much more extended menu, sandwiches, pizza, which should really be agreeable to the young people that will be coming in and out of the community center and the rest of us. There are also a number of other meeting rooms. Mike and his colleagues, as they were designing Building the Y, meeting rooms that you often find in YMCA's will be in the community center. So when Mike gets up here for his 45 minutes, he will, I think he'll explain that. Alan? Lastly, and maybe the real meat of my message, beyond trying to clarify some of the understanding out there, is what's ahead for the foundation. And I know it's a little trite, but what we need to do is really reinvent ourselves. For almost 25 years, we have been an organization that largely was program-driven. Things like the theater and MindQuest, what is Caring Corps. We now understand and see that we are going to have to take a very different role in this community as a part of now having this major physical community center. And I, trying to work this through and talking to people, I have stripped it down to just 2 principal pieces. Number one, obviously we need to manage that community center. That is all of the requests for rooms, the programs that we have, simply to manage it efficiently and do the right job. And secondly, and I feel the most important thing of what we're embarking on, is to reach out to all the nonprofits in this community and all the community partners we can find to really be inclusive. Now, I suppose I have to be very careful here because Elaine is taping this, but I've been in the community 12 years, and 4 of those last 4 years I've been involved in the FCF. And my sense of things is there are a tremendous number of nonprofits in this community that do amazing things, each of them kind of on their own. I'm not going to go so far as to say it's territorial, but some people have suggested that to me, that there's a good bit of territorialism about how we work. I know this is going to be a tough task, but we would really spend all the energy we can going forward to get out of that mode and get into a mode where we're really inclusive of everyone, where we can find a way to work together, to collaborate, to cooperate, all those words that really mean how do we best serve this community in total. Not an easy task, but I think it's the task that we have ahead of us. I have begun to talk to some of the nonprofits in the community. I have a long way to go. And I am really quite impressed at the reception I'm getting. I think people feel, and it may well be the economy, the way the economy is now affecting all of us, but I think there is a general agreement that we could do better if we work together. So it's a major, major challenge, but I think we're up to it. And having a building that we can all be proud of in this community, I think might be the catalyst to do that. So I think with that, Alan, let me sit down and turn this over to Denise.
One of the things that Paradise Valley Community College wanted to do is make this an extension of the main campus, and in doing so, we're applying for accreditation for this as a site, which means that approximately 50% of any certificate or degree can be completed at this site, and the remainder can be done at the main campus. Also, there would be limited student services, but others would be available in connection with the main campus. So there will be some of the services there, but it is not a full-fledged campus, as stated. So it's a site, not a campus. Current enrollment, right now at the main campus, we have 9,100 students, and that continues to grow. When we look at the enrollment that comes from this zip code area, that is one of our highest increasing areas and rapidly growing. So as you look at all of the statistics, it shows that by 2018 there's going to be a high increase of both age groups up to 18 as well as those of 50 and over. So what our focus is here is to make this definitely a community college, and that is focusing on lifelong learning. So constantly we are going to be asking the community for input as to what types of courses would you like to see there? Are we missing something? Do you want something changed? Because society is dynamic and it's constantly changing, so our focus is continually change, and we want to make sure that we are continually giving you that educational information you need. On the main campus, we are located at Union Hills and 32nd Street. Sometimes people don't know where we're at, but that's where we are, right off the 51. You can get off at Union Hills. Course offerings. At your table, I left a lilac-colored flyer. That is just a preview. All it does is list the courses. It doesn't have the dates and the times for them or the rooms that they're in. That will be published and should be coming out in the mail to all the areas. It goes up here the beginning part of the summer. So looking at the second week in June probably is the latest there. We're still working out some of our exercise courses and the dates and times for those, and that's why it isn't published yet. Bond funding update. As Bob mentioned, we had a bond in 2004 which allowed, it was passed for $10 million to be allotted towards construction on this 70-acre site. We used approximately $3.2 million on this phase 1 expedited expenditure of the funds, so there's approximately $6.8 million left. We are going to be beginning in January of 2010 the master planning phase of the remainder. It will be phase 2 of the campus, and we will be looking to see how far that money will take us. So I can't exactly say what's going to be on it because the construction values have changed since when we first passed the bond. So it may not be as much as we initially had hoped to do. We'd like to have completion of it in fall 2012. So phase 2, what we're right now predicting, will be completed in 2012. At that point, more student services will be available as well as more classroom and other spaces. And we will be offering both credit and non-credit classes, and you'll see those listed also in this flyer that you have. And I'm going to turn it back over. There's some pictures later on that'll show